this is Jennifer Lutz for Inside the Travel Report, and I'm here in Jamaica with Francine Carter-Henry with the Jamaica Tourist Board, and we're talking about Jamaica's recovery from the level 5 hurricane that happened just 2 months ago. Francine?
Happy to be here, and thank you for this opportunity.
Brilliant. So first of all, let's go over what areas are really kind of fully recovered right now and what areas are still making their comeback.
All right, so Jamaica is divided into what we like to refer to 6 resort regions. Montego Bay, of course, carries the bulk of our inventory. There's also Puerto Rios, there's Portland, and there's also Kingston. On the other end, we do have Negril and the Southwest. Of all those regions right now, the South Coast would be the only area that is still going through the recovery process. That will take a little bit longer than the other areas, but everywhere else has seen significant recovery. Many of our resorts are open, while some are on track to open in the next quarter. But we're excited about the rate at which the recovery has taken place. So much of our product is still available and almost feels refreshed and like new.
It does actually feel like new. They've done some beautiful renovations in the meantime, and it has only been 2 months. So talk to me now about what attractions are still available and any attractions that are, like the resort, still making a comeback.
Right now, the majority of our attractions are back online, especially the Outer Rios area, which very, very attractive to cruise ship passengers, I must say. And we have received our first cruise ships a couple of weeks back. We are seeing that market growing as well, and it's all because of the attractions that are back online. If there were no attractions back, then I don't think the cruise ships would be as willing to come back. So we have seen significant recovery there. Many of our attractions are open again. There are very few that have not fully made that recovery yet.
So I am going to ask you, just to keep us, really real about the situation, what attractions have not made it back? And what can kind of be, let's say, substitute attractions in the interim?
Okay, so I'd like to say, first of all, that the recovery is an ongoing constant. From one week to the next, there are additional attractions opening up. We do have all this information housed on our website, visitjamaica.com. We have a tab for the hotel reopening schedules. We have a tab for the tours and attractions reopening. So because this information is being updated constantly, I'd love to refer all our interested visitors to look at our website to see exactly those timelines when it's open. I may say to you today, one is not yet, but by the time they get to the website next week, it's ready again. So we'd like to make sure that they are in touch with those real-time updates that we have going on.
Brilliant. So this is very important. The Jamaica Tourist Board, via their website, is your trusted source, and definitely not some of these videos that might still be circulating online. And I've had the opportunity to tour around the island some, and I think it's really important for people to know there is still damage in areas, not as much in a lot of the more tourist areas, and even then, the resorts themselves, the activities, they are kind of uplifted,
Of course.
and for more and more, I think a lot of tourists want to give back. So what are the options for people that maybe want to see a different side of Jamaica? So smaller, more immersive experiences, is that safe right now, or are there worries about power outages?
Oh, power outages, that's almost a conversation of the past, simply because the rate at which the recovery has taken place is phenomenal. We've had teams from our local power company as well as teams who have been brought in from overseas sources to assist in that recovery process, and it has taken place quite rapidly. There are areas more on the internal parts of Jamaica that are still awaiting the reconnection of their power. And each week, like I said, week over week, there's significant progress taking place there. So right now, all the resort areas, all the resorts that are open are reconnected with power from the source.
And this goes as well, I believe, even for the smaller and mid-size in the resorts that I believe a lot of them have started using more solar energy as well to kind of help as a backup or even a premier source.
Yes, and I'm glad you mentioned that because many of our resorts here are very conscious of alternative sources of power. There's lots of solar substitutes, and many of them didn't even depend on the national source for power anyway. So in terms of impact, some of them did not lose power at all during this whole crisis. So the recovery was very, very easy.
Oh, so this is interesting actually. So because of the use of solar at the resorts, they were actually able to come back to power earlier or even maybe did not lose power at all.
Did not lose power at all. Some of our larger hotels who have put that process in place in advance, Melissa wasn't aware of that. But just forward-thinking hotel partners have made sure that their source of energy is already catered to.
That's brilliant. So good to know that Jamaica, as it comes back, is coming back a bit greener. And I also want to talk about, because I know there's lots of tour options as well, and more people wanting to do these nature-based activities. What are some of your favorite ways for people to experience Jamaica?
So just like the island's people, our natural resources bounce back pretty quickly. Since the passage of Hurricane Melissa, we've had quite a bit of rainfall, which can be considered negatively, but in this case very positively because it has helped to foster that regrowth. New leaves are coming out on all the trees. The greenery is back in a very significant way, as opposed to if we didn't have as much watering from the natural sources. So in terms of nature experiences, many of those are back on track in the mainland areas. We do encourage all our travelers to go through a trusted tour company. We have many of them that are available here. Again, our website being that trusted source, but certainly the tours are back on track, and we do encourage buses to go back out there and just see how well we have recovered, how resilient our natural resources are, just like our people.
And I think for a lot of people, the appeal of Jamaica is the people, it is the culture. It's certainly been my favorite experience. And for those travelers that, for whatever reason, have their heart set on the south, what could be, maybe an alternative option that they didn't even know was the thing? And what's the kind of timeline of recovery on those southern destinations?
So the timeline varies depending on the extent to which the damage had taken place. What I will say to you from the standpoint of our hotel employees, many of them live in the south, especially for those working in the grill and those areas. They travel quite a bit to get to work. And one of the ways that we've been able to help them come back is to contribute to tourism by visiting, by coming, purchasing the packages, staying in the hotels where these persons are employed. So they have an opportunity to rebuild their own homes that would have been battered. So the give back process is not just an area or an object, it's more so the livelihood of these people. So once they are coming back to work, once visitors are coming back to these hotels, employees are coming back to work. Once they're coming back to work, the income is coming back in their pocket. And that cycle continues, so they get to rebuild, the communities get to develop. And it helps us all together to grow much faster than we would ever imagine coming out of such a disaster as this.
That's wonderful. And I love that about this country, right? That it really seems that the whole country supports each other and vice versa.
Together, we're building. We're building together.
What's the phrase though, like the catchphrase for Jamaica? It's one I love.
I'm not quite sure exactly
it's like in all one.
which, out of many, one people.
Exactly.
Out of many, one people.
So, and I think this is really illuminated through this recovery. And the very last question I have for you, just because I'm always interested, are there any hidden gems that can maybe even become mini stars out of this disaster you're recovering from?
I'd love to say that all of Jamaica is just a huge gem. Every experience is unique, and as much as we'd love to say, there's one specific one, every area, each of these resort areas that I've mentioned, has a unique offering. So it's not like there's one single one that you would go to and bam, you check it off your list. You have to uniquely experience each of these to be able to fully understand and appreciate Jamaica and what we have to offer.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Francine. And thank you to everyone for checking up on Jamaica. Again, I'm Jennifer Lutz for Inside the Travel Report, speaking with Francine Honeyclaw from the Jamaica Tourist Board. Have a lovely day.